I remember the time I made my first million. It was a while ago, but it was the first step towards joining the 3 Comma Club. I felt like I was on top of the world. The Millionaires Club is quickly adding numbers to the list. In 2018, there were upwards of 19.6 million people with 6 zero sums in their bank accounts. By 2023, that number is estimated to rise to more than 23.4 million. Many people look at billionaires and desperately want to know, what's their secret? How did they do it? Even I've gotten that question many times. Well, today we're going to take a look at how some of the billionaires of the world got their start and made their first $1 million. Welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. Not all billionaires found success as quickly as Mark Zuckerberg, who got his first $1 million check at the age of 22. And from there, it wasn't long until he made the leap from millionaire to billionaire at age 23. Zuckerberg is known for co-founding Facebook from his dorm room. He enrolled in Harvard in 2002 but dropped out soon after to give his full attention to his new site. And life as a college dropout went just fine for him. He moved the company to Palo Alto in California and investments started to roll in. $500,000 from Peter Thiel in 2004 and then a pivotal investment of $12.7 million from the venture capital firm Accel in 2005. So as you can tell, Facebook was a hot commodity, and it only got better when he did his first TV interview with CNBC in 2004. Facebook's user base exploded soon after, from 100,000 users at the time of the interview to 1 million at the end of 2004. As Facebook's CEO, Zuckerberg is the company's lowest paid employee, with a base salary of just $1. His wealth is actually largely tied to his Facebook stock. Just 1 year behind, Sir Richard Branson made his very first million at the age of 23 in 1973. The founder and CEO of the Virgin Group would take another 20 years to hit billionaire status. His path to becoming a multi-billion-dollar business magnate started 50 years ago after he left school at just 16 to start his first business. He launched Student Magazine in 1968 to provide a fresh alternative to the stale publications and other school magazines that existed at the time. He interviewed celebrities like Dudley Moore and Vanessa Redgrave, and he sold almost $8,000 worth of advertising for the very first issue. Soon after, he started a mail-order record business, which helped to fund the magazine. By the early 1970s, he opened the first Virgin Records shop, and by 1972, Branson had 14 record stores, whose profits were used to found the music label Virgin Records. By 1973, Branson earned his first $1 million after his label signed Mike Oldfield and sold more than 5 million copies of his record, Tubular Bells. And 3 years behind Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page earned his $1 million check at the age of 25 in 1999. He is the co-founder of Google, one of the world's most famous tech companies. His journey began at Stanford, where he met Sergey Brin. At the time, the web was only 5 years old and full of endless possibilities. Page paired up with Sergey to do a dissertation on how websites link together, and they created PageRank, a platform that ranked websites based on the number of their page links. This eventually became the search engine they called Google, a name derived from a misspelling of the mathematical term Google, representing the seemingly endless amount of data on the web. Google's first version roamed the Stanford website in 1996, and it blew up from there. In September 1998, the pair launched Google Inc. in a friend's garage in Menlo Park, with Page as the CEO. The following year, in 1999, Google received $25 million of venture capital funding and was processing 500,000 queries per day. In its first 5 years, Google became one of the fastest growing companies ever, with more than 18 million searches conducted a day. It wouldn't be long before he hit $1 billion at age 30. Bill Gates may have a net worth far surpassing that of Zuckerberg's, but he did become a billionaire when he was much older than the Facebook founder. Gates hit $1 million in 1981 at age 26 thanks to Microsoft's IPO. The shares he sold made him $1.6 million, and the 45% stake he retained gained a market value of $350 million. The first thing he did after getting his newfound wealth, he paid off a $150,000 mortgage. From a former richest man in the world to the current richest man in the world, Elon Musk became a millionaire at age 27 in 1999 when he sold a web software company for $300 million. It was an online city guide software for newspapers, and it was called Zip2. Musk founded this business with his brother Kimball Musk and mentor Greg Khoury with an initial investment of $6,000. He then sold his company to Compaq Computer Corporation, which bought Zip2 in an attempt to make the Alta Vista internet search engine more more competitive against Yahoo, Lycros, and Excite. Musk made his fortune with his invention, and Warren Buffett did it with smart investing. The investing legend and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway became a millionaire in 1960 at the age of 30. Buffett was an investment salesman, a job he actually enjoyed doing except when he lost money for his clients. To minimize the possibility of that happening, he started a partnership with his close friends and family. This partnership came to terms. Buffett himself would invest only $100 and through reinvested management fees would grow his stake in the partnership. He would take half of the partnership's gains over 4% and would repay the partnership a quarter of any loss incurred. That way, by 1959, Buffett had opened a total of 7 partnerships and had a 9.5% stake in more than $1 million of partnership assets. By the time he was 30, Warren was a millionaire, and he merged all of his partnerships into a single entity. He only turned his sights to directly investing in businesses after hitting $1 million. So far, we've spoken to people who inspired innovation and motivated thousands to go after their dreams. But now, let's look at a figure who touched our hearts. Obviously, we're talking about the media mogul and queen of daytime television, Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey became a self-made millionaire in 1986 at the age of 32. She got her start at WLAC-TV, now called WTVF, when she was 19 years old. In 1976, she transferred to WJZ-TV, the ABC affiliate in Baltimore, Maryland. Her casual improvisational style helped her develop a natural rapport with her guests, who felt comfortable telling their personal stories. Soon enough, legendary film critic Roger Ebert encouraged Winfrey to license a show for a national audience and call it The Oprah Winfrey Show. At the age of 32, Winfrey became the first African-American nationally syndicated television host. We can't list billionaires and not talk about Jeff Bezos. Though not the richest man in the world anymore, Bezos is still on track to becoming the world's first trillionaire. Amazon's founder and CEO became a self-made millionaire in 1997 at age 33 when Amazon's IPO raised $54 million. Just 2 years later, he achieved billionaire status at the age of 35. Amazon.com was a platform for selling books when it was first launched in 1995, and it grew in its early stages out of a garage. Bezos put down $10,000 of his own money, and the company comprised of himself, his wife, and 2 programmers. The company meetings, ironically, were conducted in the neighborhood Barnes & Noble. Within his first month, Amazon sold books in every state in America and 45 countries around the world. And within a year, the company made a revenue of $15.7 million. As their products diversified and they started offering services in more countries, the annual sales skyrocketed to billions in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And finally, Larry Ellison made his first million at the age of 42 in 1986. In the 1970s, Ellison, a college dropout, spun through a series of jobs that included the Fireman's Fund, Wells Fargo & Company, and Amdahl Corporation. On the way, he picked up basic computer skills that he used as a programmer at Amdahl. In 1977, Ellison and 2 of his Amdahl colleagues launched software development labs. They were employed by the CIA to develop a relational database management system a year later. Ellison codenamed the product Oracle. Well, he actually called it Oracle version 2 because he knew buyers would prefer that to version 1. In 1981, IBM signed on to Oracle, and for the next 7 years, company sales doubled to the point that Ellison renamed the firm Oracle Corporation after his best-selling product. He then started introducing new products, replaced the staff, and executed widespread management changes. Inspired yet? Tell us what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and check out more videos over at the King Luxury channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.